Oh, you know, you see these headlines sometimes, particularly in the world of football, and you just think that it's a joke. You think it's April Fool's Day, but no, we've got another week to go until that. This is actually real. Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini. Now, when you mention these two guys' names, you might think, well, Platini was an unbelievable player back in the day, and he absolutely was. But these days, his reputation has been rather sullied, to say the least, because of allegations of corruption. The same is true as Sepp Blatter, although of course he was not a good player back in the day. I don't even know if he was ever a footballer, to be honest, but I absolutely do know that this guy has been riddled with corruption allegations. He was very much at the heart of the FBI investigation. By the way, the FBI raided FIFA headquarters. That's how you know there's all kinds of corruption going on in the world of football, and even the FBI do get involved. But anyway, we could go down that rabbit hole if we wanted to, but I saw an article here and a news announcement on the BBC News, and I thought I have to cover this. Now, I've been kind of short of stories recently because it's the international break. We've had the games with England, we've covered them here on the footballchronicle.com. But now let's cover this, because Platini and Blatter have been cleared of all charges of corruption. I can't even say that with a straight face. I love the justice system. It is so just and so proper, and it never makes any mistakes. I'm sure this isn't one of them. But let's have a look at what's gone on here. What on earth has gone on here? Full article on BBC News. My head is in my hands. It's these guys for covering it. Former FIFA president Sepp Blatter and celebrated French footballer Michel Platini have been cleared of corruption charges relating to allegations of fraud at the global footballing body. An appeals court in Muttens near Basel in Switzerland on Tuesday cleared the two of impropriety over a payment of 2 million Swiss francs, which is £1.6 million. Blatter made this allegedly to Platini in 2011. Both men have consistently denied wrongdoing. The two were first acquitted of fraud offences in 2022, but the verdict was appealed by Swiss federal prosecutors. That is a mouthful. The long-running case stems from 2015, when FIFA became mired in allegations of fraud and corruption, culminating in a dramatic raid in Zurich, resulting from a separate US. That was the FBI I was talking about before. The scandal, the biggest in footballing history, involved collusion between officials from the governing bodies and sports marketing executives, with fraud, bribery, racketeering and money laundering offences committed. It sounds like a mafia raid or something like that from back in the day, but no, this is not 1960s America. This is 21st century football. It forced Blatter to resign and ended Platini's hopes of succeeding him as the head of FIFA. Swiss prosecutors then accused Blatter, who is now 89, and Platini, who is now 69, of deceiving FIFA over the payments to Platini, alleging forgery and fraud. They said the payment had no legal basis. Both men argued the transfer was a belated payment for advisory work Platini, who had previously served as president of European footballing body UEFA, had done for FIFA. In his testimony at the trial, Blatter said that he had asked Platini to work as his advisor in 1998. He added that at the time, FIFA could not afford the 1 million Swiss francs annual fee requested by Platini. They instead agreed on a reduced annual fee of 300,000 francs, with the rest paid later on. Switzerland's Federal Criminal Court in Bellinzona cleared the two, accepting they had a gentleman's agreement. Yeah, these two are standout gentlemen over the payment. Federal prosecutors appealed the decision, leading to the new hearing. Speaking to reporters following Tuesday's verdict, Blatter said, "Finally, the court has dispensed justice for me, my family and my friends. This is a big thing." He added, "I'm full of emotion right now. Probably thinking, how on earth did I get away with that? But that's just my opinion. For legal reasons, that is my opinion." Platini told reporters his persecution was now totally over, adding, "Today my honour is returned. I am very happy." It has not returned. No, I'm sorry. Come on, Blatter. Your reputation is absolutely in the toilet, and it should deservedly stay there for the rest of your days for what you did to football. 100%, man. I'm not having that. Platini's lawyer has said they are now planning legal action against those responsible for the criminal proceedings. The Office of the Attorney General has not managed to find a single piece of incriminating evidence for over 10 years. Dominic Nellen has said in a statement that these proceedings were not justified and should never have been conducted. Platini has an illustrious playing career and is a 3-time winner of the Ballon d'Or, Europe's highest individual footballing award. He captained France to victory at the 1984 European Championships and won the 1985 European Cup with Juventus. He went on to coach the French national team and served as UEFA president between 2007 and 2015. Blatter, originally a Swiss businessman and sports administrator, joined FIFA in 1975, rising through the body's ranks to become its general secretary in 1981 and president in 1998. I mean, look, this is small fry, relatively, this payment, you know, compared to the things that Blatter's done and Platini's done. Whether they are found guilty in a court of law, to me, honestly, doesn't really matter. I'll be honest with you. They've done some extremely dodgy things over the years. We know what FIFA was doing for decades, and for those that have never been down that rabbit hole, for those that weren't around when all this was going on or weren't paying attention to football so much when this was all going on about 10 years ago, you know, we all knew that FIFA was corrupt as they came, but the bidding one of the most high profile thing for me, if you want to look it up, I do recommend, and I might make a video of it someday. You never know. I might make a video about it someday, but the whole bidding process for the 2018 and 2022 World Cups in Russia and Qatar, respectively, those were both voted on in 2010, I want to say, something like that. And yeah, the bidding process for that was unbelievably corrupt. Sepp Blatter's presidential campaign for FIFA in 1998 was also incredibly corrupt as well. Pretty much everything to do with FIFA was corrupt, and probably we will find out many years from now officially that what Gianni Infantino is doing is incredibly corrupt. You don't give the World Cup to Saudi Arabia in 2034 without that being incredibly corrupt. I'm just saying. I did actually do a video about the 2034 World Cup as well, and how Saudi Arabia bought it. If you're watching on YouTube, I will put that at the end of this video. If you're not on YouTube, go and look it up. It is a fascinating read, going down the rabbit hole of all that, and I do kind of get my thoughts out about how they did it, but they basically maneuvered it in a way that where Saudi could not lose the bid. Saudi had got the bid. There was an official process, but it was pretty much made so that no other person could actually run against them. Or I should say another country, really, because it is a vanity project of the Saudi royal family, because they rule the country, of course. But yeah, anyway, laughable. These guys aren't corrupt. No, they're not, definitely not. But yeah, I mean, on this particular case, I don't know all the ins and outs of it personally, but I have to admit that when I saw this headline, I thought, how on earth are these two dudes been found not guilty of corruption? Two of the most corrupt dudes in the history of sport. Not just football, sport. But yeah, we'll see. Well, I mean, they got Al Capone on tax evasion, didn't they? So, you know, you don't have to find too much to get these people behind bars or get them punished or whatever. But hey, there we go. We move on. They have been cleared. They are honourable men, in the words of Sepp Blatter. Yeah, real honourable. For much more news and videos and everything in between on the weird and wacky world of football, keep it tuned here to thefootballchronicle.com. Have a fantastic day, guys. And yeah, unbelievable stuff, but also perfectly believable too.